Hi there, welcome to my View from the 40. The CFL playoffs start tomorrow with the Edmonton Eskimos taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders at historic Commonwealth Stadium. Now, before you think to yourself, hey, this is a home game for the Eskimos, just remember, anytime the Riders come to town, whatever town they come to, their fans, their crazy loyal fans will travel. So let's take the home field advantage out of the equation. We've got two quarterbacks that will be starting that weren't starting earlier on in the season. We've got Matt Nichols for the Edmonton Eskimos, who's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, and we've got Kerry Joseph for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who's also thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. There are going to be some interesting elements of this game where we've got the high-flying Weston Dressler for the Roughriders, and on the other hand, we've got Adarius Bowman for the Eskimos. I don't necessarily know if one of these teams stands out to me, but let's break them down. On the one hand, we've got Edmonton, who did what they needed to do last week, which was nothing. They didn't need a win. The game didn't matter to them, and they played as such, and as a result, they lost. They lost to a Roughriders team who hadn't won in several weeks. And yes, there was a little bit of excitement restored in Rider Nation as they secured the win against Edmonton. But again, when you're playing against a team that has nothing to play for, is it really that big of a deal? Now, historically, you always want to go with a quarterback that's had the playoff experience and that's won the big game. And Kerry Joseph has definitely done that. I got a soft spot in my heart for old KJ. I mean, after all, he used to play here in Ottawa with the Renegades. And he's won Grey Cup championships before. Nichols, well, not so much. So, if this game comes down to quarterbacking and being able to read the game, then obviously Saskatchewan would be the better choice. But the Edmonton Eskimos have been one of the hottest teams in the CFL over the last few weeks. Not counting last week, of course. And it's hard for me to count them out. A big part of me would love to see Edmonton advance in the playoffs. And I think if you're looking at which of these teams has a better chance of beating Calgary, then you'd probably be looking at the Eskimos. So in terms of who do I think is going to win this game, I'm really not sure. Who would I like to see win this game? Again, because of the fact that I think Kerry Joseph's a pretty good guy, and at the same token, I was a former season ticket holder with the Eskimos. Again, I'm really not sure. All I am sure of is that the playoffs are here and you're going to want to check out this game. You're going to have two very interesting teams going up against each other. If you're looking at the history of these teams over the last little while, you might want to say that the advantage might sway somewhat towards the Eskimos. But again, without Mike Riley as their quarterback and relying on Nichols, I don't necessarily know if he'll be able to get the job done. I'm sure a lot of people will be checking out this game, and I know I'll be one of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at CFL_fan, Facebook.com/WhittyWhittier, and WhittyWhittier.com. Go Riders, go Eskies. Let's see what happens. I'm Keith, and that's my View from the 40.